Hello, all of you wonderful creative people here on YouTube. My name is Rio and I welcome you to my artsy corner. Time for some testing. Okay, let's go.
Look, I just got the letter on Friday and I didn't know how to tell you.
I'm really happy for you.
So, here on YouTube, I have seen such videos floating about like, let's test cheap art supplies from IKEA or Dollar Tree or Five Below or whatever, you know. So, I figured that might actually be quite an interesting idea. In my most recent haul, I've shown you a couple of art supplies I snagged from cheap store called Pepco around here, which is basically just your, you know, our own local version of Dollar Tree or Five Below or whatnot. Anyway, it's a very cheap shop with lots of cheap stuff. Art supplies including. So I figured why not make a video on testing these art supplies and coloring books and see if they're any good. So yeah, I went back to Pepco recently and pulled some items and I'm going to share them with you today. So in that store, they have a few lines of different art supplies. They have arts and crafts line, they have one for kids, they have school and office supplies line, and also the so-called artist line. So I grabbed a couple of items from each just to see if quality differs, if at all. So I'm going to start with these washi tapes here that you've probably seen in my most recent haul. Those come from the school and office supply line. Maybe I'll use them for some borders on the page I'm going to color or whatnot. One other thing from the same line that I picked were these gel pens here. You know, you can never have too many gel pens, right? So I also made a swatch of the set gel pens. There they are. And what I like about this set is that a lot of these colors are glitter gel pens. And they go down really smoothly. Even neons. Well, pastels not so much, but you know, that's the fate of every kind of line of gel pens, I suppose. The only gel pens I did not swatch were these multicolored ones. I personally find them quite gimmicky. I have no idea how to work with them properly. I will probably use them only for writing, not so much for coloring. Anyway, okay, moving on. Next to the arts and crafts line, I found these two sets of brush pens, and those are more of a watercolor pens, I believe. There they are, all 6 of them. Very nice colors, in fact, and the brushes that these pens come with feel really nice. Almost like a real brush, you know. It really feels like a watercolor paint pen or whatnot. This is my first time experience with these. Should be fun. So moving on to the kids line. I've shown these crayons in my recent haul also. These confetti crayons with multiple colors in them, and I made the swatches. Here they are. I tried blending them with baby oil. Doesn't look all that bad, actually. I still don't know what I'm gonna use them for, or if I'm gonna use them at all, but you know, we can have a try. Shall see as we go. Next thing that I got from the kids line were these colored pencils. It's the set of 14, which is really a bizarre number if you ask me. And there your regular triangular pencils. Nothing all too special. The quality is questionable, but I don't know, as long as they draw, I don't really mind. No numbers or color names or anything. Nothing at all. Here, let me show you the swatches. Oh, there they are. Here are the colors. Come on. Ignore the writing below. Yeah. Nice colors, but they feel rather hard. Well, at least that's how they felt while I was swatching them. Although metallics are reasonably glittery. Not too shabby. We'll see how they work on the page. And the last thing I got from the kids line are the soft pastels. They had a set of these in artists line as well, but I did not like the color choices all that much. Here are the swatches. Soft, muted kind of colors. There they are. I just rubbed them in with a finger. I really like this light yellow one. Not the best pigmented pastels out there for sure, but should suffice for what I want to use them for. And last but not least, moving on to the artist's line, I got this set of acrylic paint pens. Since I wasn't able to take a look what's inside the box, I just grabbed them, you know, figuring I might use them as well. But these are neons, as you can see. That surprised me. But yeah, I do not have any neon pens at my disposal, so yeah, I will use them up definitely. These are, here you have two sets of same colors. One's the thinner one and the chunkier one. Both come with these bullet nips, round tips, however you call them. Just your regular paint marker that you need to prime, you know, before using it. Oh jeez. Oh, they close up pretty nicely. There you go. I have not primed the chunkier ones as of yet. Now here are the colors. Bright neon colors. They go down really nicely. We shall see if they don't dry up with time passing, which happened to me with some of the acrylic pens that I have. And the last supply that I'm going to try and test out today are these brush pens. They are metallic. There you go. A very nice small brush. But unlike the ones that I showed you previously, well, these feel like your regular brush marker more than a real brush pen. Here are the colors. Nice muted colors. Typical metallics, I'd say. Well, they don't shimmer too much on this paper, that's for sure. I really like this purpley pink. So basically these are the supplies I'm going to work with today. And the book I picked as my test subject for today is this one. The Mandalas, Coloring and Relaxing Animals, Volume 5. Yeah, this is one of the books I got for my birthday. It's your regular Shutterstock image book. But what I like about these books is the paper. It's really, really thick. So I think it will be able to take on anything I might throw at it today, hopefully. And I picked this page to do for today. These butterflies. It's relatively simple, but, well, you know, still interesting enough for such an experiment. Okay, pages are perforated, so we shall see how we're gonna go about it. Anyway, let's have a try, shall we? And hopefully by the time I'm done with this page, we'll turn it into some sort of masterpiece. Now that we're all zoomed in, why don't we give it a go? So I'm gonna start by using these brush pens here to base the wings. Okay, let's see now, shall we? Okay. Oh. Oh my gosh! Okay, first mistake. Confession time. I'm really not used to working with pens like these. It's definitely different than using a brush marker. Does lay down nicely. We'll see how it looks when it's dry, because I'm planning to shade these with pencils. Naturally. It's so flimsy. Which reminds me, I need to get back to watercolor. I've mentioned before that I want to practice more. I have a few sets of watercolor paints, but I barely use them because I'm too scared to mess up. That's a nice color. Well, I actually like the way it looks when it's drying. Not too streaky. Oh, and I will try and cover this mess up here later. It's gonna bug me. I can fix this. Oi. But they flow nicely. The color is bright. And the paper seems to take it really good. No complaints there. Hopefully I won't skip anything. I'll leave some white spots. This is gonna bother me. Yeah, so far so good. When it comes to cheap art supplies, I always wonder just how long are they going to last? First and foremost. That's the first thing you start to question when you buy those. Usually they don't run for too long. These do not smell at all, surprisingly. I wonder what's actually inside of these pens. What kind of ink, I mean. But yeah, it feels similar as if you were to color with a water brush, you know, but filled with paint. Ready to go paint. And this brush is so thin and long. It's a bit difficult to control, but I guess it's a practice thing rather than the fault of the pen itself. It's just me failing. So I'm going to color these in and get back to you once I'm ready to shade. And there you go. I am almost done with basing the wings. And I must say, I kind of like these, although they did take me some time to get used to. All the flimsy brush tip and all. It's definitely a lot more difficult to control than your typical marker brush tip, because like I said, these feel like real bristles rather than felt tip that brush markers usually come with. I got better as I went, although as you can see I'm mucked up here and there, but it's nothing that I cannot fix as I go on coloring this page. Hopefully they feel rather juicy. The ink flows really nicely. They do dry a bit patchy, but there's no surprise in that because this paper is a bit on the smoother side anyway. But I bet these would work just nicely with more of a toothier paper, more of a mixed media type of paper. You know, like in your coloring books. Let's try to stay in the frame. Gosh, I'm still so not used to these kind of projects. So I'm really sorry. Color in chats and color alongs. Something I should definitely do more often. Practice makes perfect. Okay. We're almost done. Oops. Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed these. I like them so far. So far, so good. Now, there you go. So those were the brush pens. Now, I think I'm gonna let these dry a little. And as you can see, it did not go through onto the other side, so it's perfect. Awesome. All right, now let's try the metallic pens, shall we? Let's try and go with this dark blue here and color in these tiny little dots on the wings just to see how opaque these pens are. They done nicely. Definitely very juicy. As for the metallic side of things, I don't know. To be honest, they do not look all that metallic to me. It definitely feels more like your very juicy, chunky, water-based marker. Yeah. Doesn't look like they shine at all. Well, maybe it's because of the tip of the pen. This might sound funny to you, but I have noticed this weird thing when it comes to metallic markers, especially those that have dual tips, like one's a brush, the other is a bullet nib. When you draw with the brush nib, colors come out a lot more glittery than when you're using the bullet nib. And in this case, it definitely feels like the latter. Well, this brush nib, if I dare call it so. Oh yeah, it's a brush pen, but it looks more like a large bullet nib rather than a brush. It feels stiff, not flexible at all. So yeah, it feels more like I'm just using a very, very large bullet nib. There you go. And it's definitely not shiny at all. Well, that's a bummer. I was really looking forward to these. But they're a nice pen. Like I said, nice muted colors and very juicy. I can definitely see myself using these in my coloring books. There you go. Well, now that I have covered a bit of a larger area here, it looks like it's at least trying to shine a little. I don't know. But yeah, I've seen better. I don't know why. Okay, should we try another color? Let's see. Let's do this nice pink one. This, well, look more like a purple one. Let's use it on the body of the butterfly. You can clearly see I'm making up colors as I go. I should make sure I'm staying in frame here. My camera is really zoomed in. Same story as with the other one. Doesn't seem all too shiny at all. But I like the color. It's really nice. I just wish they shimmer a bit more, you know, to justify the name. Metallic brush pen. Yeah, there in the background you can hear my birds complaining as well. Yeah, there we have it. Well, so far so good. Okay, now should we go for gel pens? I suppose so. I figure I want to line the wings in black. So this is what I'm going to do. There we go. Let's see. How are you going to work on this paper? Ooh, nice. Usually glitter gel pens tend to be pretty juicy. And compared to the regular gel pens or neons or pastels for that matter. So I figured from the start I'm not gonna have any problems with these. I'm just curious to see how they're going to look like once they're dry. Because yes, gel pens do take some time to dry. And sometimes once they're completely dried, the color looks totally different. And then when you lay it down in the beginning, that's nice. Here you go, a shimmery black gel pen. And yet again, those gel pens were ridiculously cheap. It kind of makes me wonder how long are they going to last. And of course, they offer no refills. So you know, once it's done, it's done. Yeah, I really like the way these lay down on this paper. They don't feel like they want to skip or anything. I like the glitter. For being a cheap gel pen that they are, they feel really nice. Well, at least the glitter ones. I mean, like I mentioned when I showed you the swatches, the neons and especially pastels seem to want to skip a little. But it's usual for neons and pastels and gel pens. At least that's what I've noticed. On cheap sets, at least. Well, I do not own any of the fancy sets like jelly rolls and such. Those might be different. I'm not gonna argue. But in the ones that I have, yeah, that's a regular thing. There. Looking good so far. Yeah, it does shimmer. Okay, so I'm gonna go and finish up the wings and get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so I'm about to finish coloring the wings. As you can see, I'm using this silver gel pen on these ornaments here. And I must say, I love the silver. Just look how shiny it is. And as the black gel pen dries, the glitter comes through really nicely. I went back on the tips of the wings with the dark metallic marker. And I must say, now that I look at it, it did start to shine eventually. I guess I just needed to color it in a bit more. Then again, I have some metallic pens that are a lot more shiny than these. But I mean, we're talking about budget art supplies. And for what they are, they're okay. And this silver is also really opaque. The black and the brown that I used on the body of the butterfly, as you can see probably, not so much. But I like this shade of brown I mean, for a cheap set of gel pens, this is a very unusual shade of a pen to be in a set. This is reddish, kind of brown. I like it. And I really love this silver. I could never say no to a good silver or gold gel pen. I use these a lot. So this pen will definitely get more love from me. Oops. How come every time I start to color on camera, I go all clumsy? Yeah, you know, maybe that's because I can't lean in as much as I usually do. You know, because I'm trying not to get in the frame. Alright! So far so good. What do you think? We can start shading now. And now that I've done coloring my butterfly wings, let's just try and compare. Oh, well, now that I look at it, these gel pens aren't equally filled. Look at it. Well, that's a bummer. I just wanted to compare the black one that I've just used with the others just to see how much ink I used up, but the way these are filled, I can't really do that. Now can I? Oh, look at this yellow. Wow, that's a lot. Well, in compared to the brown one that I used here, yeah, these aren't gonna last all that long. As you can see. Well, it's gonna be fun as long as they don't. They do last, actually. Alright, I'm not gonna complain. Like I said, we're talking about budget art supplies anyway. Time for shading. Yeah. All that we have left to do is the background. Alright. So I gave it some thought, and well, since there's not much to choose from, I figured I will shade these turquoisey bits with these two colors. Well, I try to combine green and light blue, and for the darker bits I'll go with purple and dark blue. Okay, let's sharpen them. They seem to sharpen nicely with an electric sharpener, because these pencils are on a bit of a chunkier side. They do not fit into my regular sharpener. Alright, let's start with the teal parts. Okay. Well, ow! Oops. That's a bummer. Well, they do feel kind of hard. Not gonna lie. Well, again, we're talking about kids' pencils. Those usually require some effort before they give their pigment onto the paper. Yeah, with a bit of effort you can actually get a rather ingredient. I'm not complaining. Okay. I guess the paper in this book just takes harder pencils really well. And they do feel a bit dry. Not scratchy, but dry. Now let's try to go over it with light blue. Ow! Oh my god. These do not want to blend all that much. That's for sure. And besides, this blue is barely visible on this teal. Although, yeah, I guess it's not that bad. Like I said, it's a very limited color choice that I'm working with. Yeah, when it comes to blending, I've seen better. But, I mean, eventually, I'm sort of getting what I want. I'm adding depth to the flat color. There you go. That is my feel. Let's try the dark blue. I'll try it on these segments here. Okay. I'm gonna go with purple first. Hopefully this comes out better. Again, very dry feeling. And honestly, I feel like I have to push hard to get the color out of these. Well, you might see, maybe these are better off when layering, and I can see that, but I highly doubt it. Yeah, since these are harder and a bit drier, you can get a really nice gradient, you know, when you vary the pressure, but when it comes to blending, although these two colors seem to do better. At least it feels and looks like it. Or maybe with the teal ones, I just picked the wrong colors. But like I said, I really don't have a lot of a choice here. Alright. There you go. So this is pretty much how it looks. Okay, now I'm just gonna go and do the rest of them. Wish me luck. Oh well then, almost done with shading the wings, and believe it or not, it took me a fair amount of time. About 1.5 hours. Although the image itself is pretty simple, but those pencils are so hard. Well, and not as pigmented. Well, you know, it's the usual deal with kids' pencils. Although they did look reasonably bright on my smudge book. Or maybe just do not like this paper, I don't know. So there we go. I am done with the wings. Well, they look really nice. Not bad at all, except the fact that I had to push really hard to get the color out of it, to get the colors to blend, and now my wrist hurts like hell. Thank goodness we are almost done with this page. I only have the background left. And this one we're going to do with soft pastels. I have my old faithful box opening knife blade thing. And what I'm going to use it for is I'm going to shave the pastels off onto the page. There we have the colors. They're pretty light and muted. So, what kind of colors should we pick? Okay, let's definitely start from the lightest. In this case, that's this lighter blue, of course. I also have a piece of paper towel here. I will use it to rub the pastels in. Going to work, I wonder. Oh, we're having rain. Brilliant. Let's see what these are made of. Ooh, it's so light. Definitely very light. But this is what we want. For starters, all these work just like your regular soft pastels would, actually. The only difference is they are definitely not as pigmented as the more professional ones. But that, I guess, is pretty much obvious. But I like this method of using soft pastels. You know, when you just shave some of them off onto the paper and then just rub it in. That is the best way, in my opinion. You don't get a lot of leftover pigment on your page, so it's easier to seal the colors afterwards. They smudge a lot less, it's easier to rub them in. I used to scribble with the pastel onto the paper, then rub it in, but I used to end up with a huge excess of pigment on the page, and the background became really difficult to seal in afterwards. The pages were still smudging, and the color laid down wasn't as even. You could clearly see the scribbly marks on the page, no matter how hard you try to rub them in. Of course, then again, it also depends on the paper. Now onto the darker color. How much of a difference is there in color? Oh, quite a difference. I mustn't forget to move you as I work. Again, not too used to color alongs as of yet. I'm trying my best though. I'm not too worried about the edge of the page as for now. I'm going to fix it later. As I put the border in, maybe. Okay. See? When you rub them in properly, they barely even smudge. That's cool. Okay, and now, to make things more interesting, I'll add a bit of green onto the very corner. You know, to add to the whole combination of colors on this page here. There, see? We have ourselves pretty neat background. Okay, now give me a moment to finish this off and I'll be back with you shortly. And we're done! This page is complete. Well, after more than a couple of hours of work, this is what we have. And I think, considering the quality of supplies I got to work with, I'm actually happy with the way it came out. Yo, what can I say about coloring or art supplies from Pepco? Some of them were good, others not so much. I really liked the gel pens. They were pretty juicy. They sparkle quite a bit. When they dry, they do not change their color all that much. Like I said, I really like this strange shade of brown that we have. A very unusual shade for such a small set of budget gel pens. I love it. I'm definitely gonna use them. The metallic pens. Well, not the shiniest pens of them all, but yeah, they do shimmer a little when you look at it. But yeah, well, I definitely have much more glittery metallic pens on my disposal, but I will use them up. I like the muted colors. They will not go to waste. These watercolor brush pens, or whatever liquidy ink there's inside these pens, it was a completely new experience to me. I've never used like a real brush pen, if you will. It took me a while to get used to, but they worked really nice. They were pretty juicy. Well, I got used to them pretty quickly. Of course, it's a learning curve, as every new art supply usually is. But I will definitely going to continue to use these in the future. I really loved the soft pastels. I mean, yeah, they may not be as pigmented as the professional soft pastels are, but usually I like to keep my backgrounds pretty light. And, well, sometimes pigmented of a pastel can pose a problem, but these work really nice for what I want them to be and will definitely serve their purpose in the future. I will use them up for sure. The pencils. These were definitely the bane of my existence. I did not like them, not at all. Maybe they might work a bit better on a slightly toothier paper. I will try them out in other coloring books, but I guess eventually I will end up giving those away. I really doubt I'm going to keep those. I did not like them all that much. Yeah, they're really poorly pigmented. Well, at least that's how it felt on this paper. Then again, maybe they just don't like a smoother kind of paper, you know, it's a hard pencil after all. They were really difficult to blend. As you can see, the blends were not perfect. Although the blue ones look kind of decent. But the green and the light blue, not so much. And again, this might be a color combo. I don't know. All in all, on this page, I did not enjoy them at all. Yeah, the washi tape. Yeah, this really cool iridescent teal bluish kind of washi tape suits perfectly for this page. I added it as an accent on the side because it was a bit too wide to border up the whole page. So yeah, I just placed it on the side. It sticks really nicely, holds pretty well, at least on this paper. So yeah, the tape is pretty good. The silver gel pen, definitely the star of the show. Anyway, what does this prove, to sum it all up? Yes, you can use cheap art supplies in your coloring books. You don't really have to go for professional art supplies all the time. You know, if you're in the budget, those will do perfectly fine. I mean, it's not like you're going to sell it or hang it in a gallery or a museum somewhere. I mean, we do it for fun, and as long as it works and as long as it helps you put color on your page, it's fine. It doesn't matter the cost. Will it be as enjoyable? Maybe not so much, but you know, those are pretty good. All in all, pretty doable. I like the end result, and that's all that matters. And by the way, I did not end up using these. I just couldn't find a way how I could apply these to this specific page. I mean, the neon highlighty kind of paint pens and these crayons. Yeah, they did not speak to me today. Maybe on some other pages. I don't know. We shall see in the future. So yeah, this is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this messy color along, this little experiment of mine. Anyway, before I go, I would like to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers that joined my channel this month. I hope you like it in here and you're here to stay. Well, until I see you on one of my next videos, remember to stay creative, stay artsy, and have fun in every single step you take. Till next time then, da.